going on, you guys? How you doing? 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 It's all good. How are you all doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. What is going on, people? What's going on? I see you. All right. It's good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. What's going on, y'all? Raul, I see all of y'all. Who's that? Razel Poeta. Raul 7821. What's going on, Raul 7821? I see you. It's all good. My one and only. The one and only. Pat on, pat on, pat on. See you, I see you. It's all good, it's all good. Man, I hope you guys have been having a good week, you know. We're going to start getting right into it. Man, what is it? Wednesday. Wednesday for most of us. Thursday for some of us. Week is almost over. We're like at the hump day, as they call it, right? For those of us who are working hard throughout the week, we're at the hump day. So, we're getting right into it, man. First of all, as always, you guys know how this goes. We call this Diversity Outspoken. We do this every Sunday night, every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock p.m. That is United States Eastern Time Zone. All right, United States Eastern Time Zone. Every Sunday and every Wednesday, 9 o'clock p.m. My name is ODogg, Anti-Imperial ThaChill. See you guys. I see you guys. Radiant and brown sugar. See y'all. ODogg, Anti-Imperial ThaChill. I'm a musician. That's my artist name. 3 names: ODogg, Anti-Imperial ThaChill. 3 different personalities. I see you, Lisa. And that's how it goes, and that's how we get that. ODogg is like the crazy guy, right? He's like kind of sexually explicit and stuff like that. You have Anti-Imperial. He's the one that is all about righteousness and history and politics and social issues and things like that. And then you have ThaChill. And ThaChill is all about love, romance, and building a family, romantic walks on the beach. He's the romantic and things like that. So it's ODogg, Anti-Imperial ThaChill, and that's how we do that. Right now, man, if you guys are on Instagram, which you guys are watching me on Instagram, this is Instagram Live. But this will also be posted on YouTube, I think, next week. So if you're watching me on Instagram, which you guys are, my YouTube is Anti-Imperial. Subscribe to my YouTube if you want to go to my YouTube, see my videos and things like that. If you want to see everything that comes out first, whenever I put something out, I put it out on YouTube probably like a day or two when it comes to videos and things like that, a day or two before I put it on Instagram. So if you want to see those things first, my YouTube is Anti-Imperial. It's just anti-space-imperial. That's just 2 words, Anti-Imperial. Type that into YouTube and then you can subscribe. When you see my face pop up on one of those videos, you know it's my video. You can click on the video and subscribe, right? For everybody who's watching this on YouTube who doesn't have me on Instagram or doesn't use Instagram, because a lot of people use only Facebook or Twitter and things like that. I don't use Facebook or Twitter. I use Instagram. For me, that's the best thing. But if you're watching this on YouTube and you use Facebook or Twitter, and you do have an Instagram account or you want to go to Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram at anti_imperial. On Instagram, it's anti_imperial. On YouTube, it's just anti-imperial with no underscore. On Instagram, there's an underscore. On YouTube, there's no underscore. So that is that. That's how that goes, right? What's going on, boss lady? I see you. Also, you guys, make sure on Instagram that if you haven't already, man, you go to my IG bio page, my Instagram bio page. I'm doing good, boss lady. How you doing? My Instagram bio page. And make sure you click that link in the bio and you'll see my latest video. You'll see my latest video there, my latest song, right? The latest song is called What We're Here For. And that is by ThaChill. It's an R&B song. It's a love song. Make sure you go and check that out. Okay. Yeah, and that's good. Boss lady asking me how I'm doing. I appreciate that, man. You guys remember, if you guys were with us last show, I had bit my lip, and my lip was kind of messed up, but I'm back. I'm back enough for. I have like a little scar. I think like there's a little from where I bit it and busted it open. There's a little. Thank you, sister. I appreciate that, boss lady. Appreciate the hearts. But where I busted it open, now there's a little not scar, but it's trying to heal or whatever. So I see that coming on. Scab is what I wanted to say. But that's good. So there's a little scab there. So we're getting back to normal, people. So my lips getting back to normal. My clumsy self. I bit myself. So it's all good. I see you bit yourself too. It's all good, boss lady. But we're getting back together. We'll be all right. I see you, Santiago. Peace, Santiago. I see you. We're going to get started. I try not to keep you guys for too long. I know this is a work night for pretty much everybody. And that's what happens when you're always smiling. She says, you bite yourself in the lip. I know, sister. I can't help it, right? I'm always smiling. I can't help it. I'm always like this no matter what. But I try not to keep you guys for too long. I see you, number 7. Who's that? Jel Chapo 7. You know what I'm saying? I see you, 1013. And all I ask for you guys is to respect each other. You guys, if you disagree with me, that's perfectly okay. You're beautiful, boss lady. You're beautiful. I appreciate it. That's perfectly okay. If you guys disagree with each other, that's perfectly okay. I encourage open and honest conversation here. That's what it's called, diversity. Outspoken. It is outspoken because we are straight to the point. We say whatever's on our mind. We don't hold back, but we do that in the most respectful way possible. And it's diversity outspoken because we speak about a diverse range of topics, and that's how that goes, right? So we have that. Last time, you guys, we're going to get right into it. I went over my school qualifications last time. I also went over, the master's degrees. I got the 2 double master's degrees. I got the PhD. And they're all in like social sciences, economics, history, and things like that, international relations, international studies, and things like that. We have that. I also went over that the main point of this, in my opinion, what I'm trying to do, my main thing I'm trying to do, I see you 1013. Oh, I said that already. No, 961. Vivian Braga, 961. I see you also. I see you again, 1013. How you doing again? But my main thing for doing this, you guys, is that I want you guys to be educated. I want you guys to be educated to a point to where you all, for 2 reasons. First of all, I want you guys to be able to go and feel comfortable. This is all about economics, business, and stocks. We're focusing on, like, the main focus is business and stocks. We started off doing stocks last time. We'll finish stocks off today very quickly, and then we'll start to go into the business aspect of everything. Between that, I want you guys to be able to feel comfortable enough to where if you guys go somewhere, if you go out to a party, a dinner party or something like that, if you go to a club or something like that, when we get into summer's about to end, so when we get into the like holiday months and stuff like that, and you guys might be going home to your parents' house or things like that, and when you do that, you might have like a brother or sister that thinks they're smarter than you. You might have like a brother or sister or cousin, and they're bringing like their new boyfriend or new girlfriend to that house for the family dinner or something like that, And when they do that, man, that's good. That's good. 1013. Keep doing that, man. It says that they're making beats, learning to make beats. That's really good. That's really good. There's a lot in that in music. I make my own beats and things like that, man. I do publishing and things like that, so I get paid a lot of money off of my music because I own everything. So there you go, right? I own everything. I've been doing this for 12 years, people. 12 years in the music industry. I'm doing my first English album right now, right? But 12 years, man. What's going on, beautiful Jewel? I see you, sister. 12 years, 9 albums. They've all been super successful. 5 Asian albums, 4 Arabic albums, right? And right now I'm doing my first English album. Okay, that's what I'm over here for. But I see you, Lima. What's that, Lima? What's going on? So I want you guys to be smart. I want you guys to never be embarrassed. I want you guys to, if you guys go to the family dinner or anything like that, I see you, 689, Mr. Mayor. If you guys go to the family dinner or anything like that, I want you guys to be able to say, well, you know what? When your cousin or your sister, or your boyfriend's girlfriend, new girlfriend, or your sister's new boyfriend, they start talking all like they're professional, and they start to talk like this. and they start to act like they know everything more than you do. And they start to talk to the family very dignified. And they laugh like that. I want you guys to be able to say, if they start to talk about economics or start to talk about stocks or finances, I don't want you guys to feel like you're left out of the conversation. I want you guys to be able to have at least common knowledge to know what you're talking about, right? So that when they look at you and they say, I'm the one that knows about stocks more than anyone, you'll say, ha ha! Not exactly. Not exactly. Right? So that's the first thing I'm doing. I want you guys just to be a little bit smarter. I want you guys just to be a little bit more engaged when it comes to economics and things like that. And the most important thing that I want for all of you guys is that I want you guys to eventually start to get paid, if you do not already do so, get paid for something that you love to do. And that's the business aspect. Get paid for something that you love to do. If you can get paid, I see you Superstar 617, aka Sonya. Get paid. If you can get paid, I see you Two Monkeys. If you can get paid for something that you would do for free, that is the key. That is the key to all happiness, you guys. That is the key to success. That is the key to a less stressful life. Because if you can find a way to get paid, and there is a way for whatever you want to do, for whatever your dream is in life, there's a way to make money off of that dream. Okay, we'll get more into that next time, but there is a way to make money off of that dream. All right, and that's what I want you guys to really focus on, and that's hopefully after we get through with this series of economics, business, and stocks, hopefully you guys will have a better idea on how to do that for yourself. Okay, so here we go, and just remember, you guys, every day I post historical facts on Instagram. It's called On This Day in History, and we do that, you guys, on this day in history. You know, I spend a lot of time researching that and things like that, and I post those things. So if you do have me on Instagram, you will see that on this day in history, right? You will see that on this day in history. Today was, what did I do today? Today was kind of it was kind of like you know, kind of easy, because what I like to do, you guys, because not everybody's into history the way I am, you know, but I post these every day. So for every serious historical post that I have, I try to do like 1 or 2 days that are kind of like not as serious, right? Kind of like things that more people can relate to. I think today we did ice cream. I think I did Ben and Jerry's ice cream. I think it was like in 1987 or something like that today, and that was the day that Ben and Jerry's ice cream, for all of you guys who like ice cream, Ben and Jerry's ice cream, they decided with Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead to come up with that flavor, Cherry Garcia, right? So that was today, I think in 1987 or something like that. Also did today, I did, what did I do today? I think I have it here somewhere. Oh, I did the Guns N' Roses. I did Guns N' Roses. Today was the day, I think that was also 1987, that Guns N' Roses released their first album. You guys know Appetite for Destruction, right? They released that first album worldwide. That was today also in 1987. I did that today. I posted that today. And man, just for a side note, right? Axl Rose was fantastic. I mean, for somebody to be able to take their voice from like so smooth and calm and soft to like screechy but still sounding good and so high, and that screechy voice that he had, right? That was, his talent was unbelievable. Axl Rose's talent was unbelievable. So we went through that also. I did that also today. So shout out to Axl Rose. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about with Axl Rose's voice, go go YouTube after we finish up here. You know what I'm saying? Go YouTube Patience, Guns N' Roses Patience, and you'll see that. What's going on, Quansis? I see you, my brother. And so I did that today. I also posted today, what was it, about Alexander Wang when he left Balenciaga. And I think I also posted today something about, Rihanna. Rihanna being the first black woman to ever be on, I think it was Vogue, British Vogue. So that's today. So every day I post, you know, historical facts, man, so you guys go check that out also, right? All right, so last time we were in here, we started talking about stocks. So stocks was the first thing, and the first thing we talked about was, I said, okay, for you guys who never understood stocks, never understood how it worked out, never understood anything like that, the first thing that you guys need to understand is stocks are basically, when you invest in a stock, when you go buy stocks and things like that, you want to buy a stock based on if you have faith in the company, if you have belief in the company. That's all the stock market is, you guys. The stock market is nothing but if you have belief in the company, okay? You have belief in the company. So, for example, I gave the example, those people who, for example, got and bought stock in Starbucks Coffee Company. If individuals who brought stock in Starbucks Coffee Company years ago, before they became really, really big, they have a lot of money right now in that stock. And the reason why those individuals would have brought that stock years and years and years back in Starbucks was because they saw Starbucks and they said, well, you know what? I think that company Starbucks, I have faith in that company Starbucks. I have belief in that company Starbucks. Therefore, I think that company Starbucks is going to do something big in the future. So I trust that company Starbucks. And if you have faith, if you have belief, if you have trust in a company, that's how you decide if you're going to buy stock in that company. For those individuals who did have faith, belief, and trust in Starbucks years ago, they appreciate it now because their stock is worth a lot of money, because they knew or they had faith or belief or trust that Starbucks was going to be better than Dunkin' Donuts coffee. They had trust. They had that Starbucks is going to be better than Panther, right? Panther coffee, okay? It's going to be bigger. Therefore, you invest early in these stocks when you have faith and belief and trust in the company. You invest early. I think we had technical difficulties right there for a second, but it's okay. You invest early, and then that's how it pays off, right? So since it's all about having faith and belief and trust in the company, it really makes sense. It makes a difference who the CEO is, okay? Because let's say if Starbucks tomorrow you see on the news, Starbucks is changing their CEO. Let's say you were one of the people who brought stock in Starbucks years back, and now your stock is worth a lot of money, right? And you're happy that your stock is worth a lot of money. You have faith in Starbucks. You're happy that you have this Starbucks stock. They're growing exponentially. They're still putting stores in different places, okay? Now, let's say that tomorrow on the news you wake up and it comes out that, hey, the CEO of Starbucks is stepping down. And a new CEO is coming on to Starbucks. And when this new CEO comes on to Starbucks, he or she, they make an announcement. And they say, well, you know what? I'm going to change some things. I'm going to get rid of 5 different types of coffees that we already sell at Starbucks. I'm going to stop selling the cakes and the pastries at Starbucks. I'm going to stop selling the breakfast sandwiches at Starbucks. Let's say this happens. Let's say a new CEO comes in and he makes this announcement. He has his first media press meeting and he makes this announcement. You might be sitting there and say, well, you know what? When I go to Starbucks to get my coffee, there's a lot of people that I see that buy the breakfast sandwiches. There's a lot of people that I see that buy the pastries and the cakes. There's a lot of people that buy, like, some of those coffees that he says that he wants to get rid of. So when he does this, I think in my mind, right, this is you, right? I think in my mind, being a Starbucks stock investor, a Starbucks stock owner, that the Starbucks is not going to be making as much money as they used to because they're getting rid of some of their good stuff. So in your mind, you might say, you know what? I'm going to start to sell my Starbucks stock. I'm going to start to sell some of that stock because I don't think it's going to be any higher than what it is now because they're getting rid of some things. And I think that in the future, they're going to make less money. And if a company makes less money, that means the company goes down. Okay? And a company goes down when they make less money, their stock goes down. If their stock goes down and you own that stock, and that stock used to be worth $20 per stock, and when they start to make less money and it goes down, it might go down to $5 per stock. And that's $15 per stock that you've lost, right? And so if you have two stocks, you lost $30 per stock. You see what I'm saying? So think about if you have 100 stock in Starbucks and it's $15 per stock, right? Okay? Think about how much money you're losing. So that's how it goes, all right? That's how it goes. That would be like, what, $1,500 you've lost, right? Because 15 times, what, 15 times 100? Yeah, $1,500 you've lost, okay? So That's how stock works. It's all about faith. It's all about trust. I went over also the whole thing about McDonald's. If you did not invest in McDonald's, let's say, and let's say you're sitting there at home, and you guys know, I gave the example when you walk into a Walmart or something like that, that you guys see McDonald's in Walmart, right? If you go into a Walmart over there in the United States, you guys will see McDonald's in your Walmarts over there in the United States, right? And when that partnership, before those McDonald's were in those Walmart stores, when that partnership between McDonald's and Walmart was first announced, let's say years ago, and you didn't have stock in McDonald's, and you were sitting on your sofa at home, you might have said to yourself, you know what? I've never had stock in McDonald's, but if McDonald's is going to partner up with Walmart, that means that McDonald's will actually appear in 1,000 more Walmarts in the United States, let's say. The deal is for McDonald's to be in 1,000 Walmarts, right? If that's the case, then you might say to yourself, well, that's basically the equivalent to McDonald's opening up 1,000 more stores. And if McDonald's, with this partnership with Walmart, is opening up 1,000 more stores, well, then you know what that means? That means that they're going to have 1,000 times more sales. 1,000 times more sales of hamburgers. 1,000 times more sale of French fries. And that's going to make McDonald's a lot more money. So when you hear that partnership between McDonald's and Walmart on the news years ago, right, when you heard that, you might have been at home and been like, you know what, I'm going to go out and buy some McDonald's stock. Because with these extra 1,000 stores and these 1,000 Walmarts where McDonald's is going to be putting all of their stores, and that means that everything is going to be selling 1,000 times more, that means McDonald's is going to make much more money. And that means that when they make more money, the stock of McDonald's will go up. So once I hear the partnership, before it's even done and implemented, once you hear the partnership on the news, you go out and you buy that stock right then and there. Because you can still buy it at a low price, see. But once they start to actually build the McDonald's stores in the Walmart, inside the Walmart, then the stock will start to go up. But if you brought it when that partnership was first announced on the news, you still got that stock at a lower price. So now when the stock starts to go up, you might have brought the stock at $5. But now as the stock goes up, as they start to build those 1,000 extra McDonald's stores in those 1,000 Walmart stores, it might go from $5 where you brought the stock, and it might go all the way up to $30 per stock. So if you brought one stock for $5, you've made $25 already. You see how that goes? If you brought 4 stocks, you made $100 already, right? 25 times 4, okay? That's just buying 4 stock at $5. You spent $20 and you've already made $100. You see how that goes? So depending on partnerships, depending on what happens and things like that, that's how you want to know if you want to buy stock or if you want to sell stock. And it's all based on how much you appreciate the company, how much you believe in the company, how much you have faith in the company, and how much you trust the company. Depending on that, if you have high trust in the company, you buy your stock in that company and you keep your stock in that company because you have faith and trust and belief they're going to continue to do great things. And if you do not have faith, trust, or belief in that company, then you will not buy stock in that company, or you will sell your stock in that company if they start to make decisions that you do not agree with. Another thing, you guys, the government. Just like, this depends on who the CEO is and what the company's direction is. Another thing is the government. So the government also weighs heavily if you're going to buy stock or keep stock. This is a good example of this is Uber. All of you guys know Uber. And you guys might know of or have heard of the whole thing about Uber and Uber wanting to have flying cars one day, or helicopter Ubers, right? They want to be able to use helipads. I believe they want to start it off in California, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they want to start it off in LA or some part of California. Might be San Francisco, but Uber wants to have flying cars because their thing is, look, we want flying cars because we can do Uber and we don't have to worry about people being stuck in traffic. So we want to be able to have helicopters or one day flying cars that can fly people around. People can go to buildings and they can go upstairs to the top floor and they can go to the helicopter pad, because if you guys ever see movies or things like that, on the top floor of usually every building, high building, they usually have helicopter pads, and you can catch your Uber on the helicopter pad. And it'll be a flying car Uber or a helicopter Uber or whatever it is, right? Now, Uber made that announcement that they want to do this. Now, if you're at home and you're hearing this and you're like, man, Uber wants to have flying car Ubers, that might make them have a lot more money. That might make their stock go up. Maybe I should go buy that stock. Maybe I should buy into that stock. Wait. The reason why you want to wait is because with something like this, examples like this, what comes into play are things like the government, you guys. Because see, Uber may want to do this, but the government is the one that decides. Congress, the U.S. Congress, the U.S. House of Representatives, they're the ones that will decide. The president, they're the ones that will decide if they're going to allow Uber to do that. See, the government has to give Uber permission. They have to give Uber the permits and things like that to be able to do that. All right. So when you're sitting at home and you hear Uber make this announcement, I appreciate that. Interstellar Traveler, he's like, this is interesting. I appreciate that, man. So good to have you here. It's all good. I see you, Darren Paul. I see you guys. Martinez, GB Martinez. I see you, Angelo Rodriguez. So I see you, Gabby. So when you hear Uber make that announcement that, hey, we want to have flying cars, we want to have flying helicopters, yes, it will make them make a lot more money, but before you go buy that stock, wait to see if they get the government approval. Because if they don't get government approval, then you'll be buying that stock for no reason. Because if they don't get government approval, they're not going to be able to do it. And then that's how, and this is a side note, but that's why you always hear that government is brought by big business. Because if I'm the owner of Uber and I know that if Uber, my company, what's going on, Caribbean Carol Athena, I know that if my company Uber gets the government approval to be able to have the flying cars, to be able to have the flying helicopters, I know that if I get that approval, I'm going to get a lot richer, because Uber will get a lot richer. Then I will go underneath the table. I'll go underneath the table to pay the government money, so that they will tell the Congress people, or I'll pay the Congress people so that they will bypass and give me my okay to be able to have my flying helicopters or flying cars, right? And that's how they do it. And they do it in different ways. It's not always like in a seedy alleyway and they give the congressman the money, they give the senator the money. You know how it goes? It goes real simple. It's like, hey, you're up for re-election, right? When are you up for re-election? When is that? Oh, next year? You're up for re-election next year? Oh, okay. Well, guess what? I'm going to pledge $3 million to your re-election campaign. But come on, man. You know, you got to help me out with that Uber bill, though, right? You know, that flying car, flying helicopter bill. Yeah, you go. Right? And that's how it goes. Okay, so buying stock in Uber. So when you're sitting there, you hear that Uber is going to be doing the flying helicopter thing. Before you go and buy that stock, what you want to do is you want to see if they get government approval first. So when you're buying stock, it's not only the direction of the company, it's not only if you have belief, faith, and trust in the company's direction, the company's vision, it's also, do they have the political approval to be able to do what they want to do? Okay, that's how that goes. Now, if they get approval, if Uber gets approval for their flying helicopters, for their flying cars, what you want to do, the day that you're sitting at home on your sofa and you hear Uber got government approval, what you want to do, you want to run right out and you want to run and buy Uber stock right away, because you're going to be buying it at a lower price. It might be $5 per stock, right? But man, when they get that government approval in the next week or two coming, that $5 stock is going to go up to $50, maybe $60, $70. And if you buy it for $5 in a week or two, when it goes up to $60, you've just made $55 per stock. Per stock. because you could buy one stock for $5 and in 2 weeks it goes up to $60. That one stock is worth $55 extra you just made. But imagine if you bought like 100 stocks at $5. Think about that. And they all went up to $60. That's $55 per stock. So in 2 weeks, you can make 55 times 100, $5,500 in 2 weeks, just like that, off of stocks, right? That's how that works with stocks. But again, you have to make sure that you know what the company is doing so that you make the right direction in the stocks, okay? Likewise, like man, if you're into tech and stuff like that, read tech magazines, okay? Read tech magazines, right? Because what happens is that when you read tech magazines and things like that, you'll see about the new technology that's coming out. And when that new technology that's coming out per stock, that's right, Athena. When that new technology is coming out, you can get into that technology, okay? You can get into that technology and be ahead of it. So, for example, back in the days, before, if you heard that way before the iPhone came out, way before the iPad came out, if you were sitting there and you were in home one day and you were sitting on the sofa and you heard that, man, you know what? That company Apple is thinking about, what's going on, Ashley Elizabeth? I see you, sister. That company Apple is thinking about coming out with this new phone called the iPhone, and like, you know, I don't know what it does, but it's supposed to be kind of like a computer, but like on the phone, or, you know, something like that, right? This is years ago before the iPhone came out. But when you watch the news, you always hear like, oh, this new company's coming out with this new thing like next year. And the thing about it is, you guys, for most of us, we don't really pay attention to it that much. We hear it and we're like, hey, did you hear that, you know, Apple's coming out with this new product, or Samsung's coming out with this new product? That sounds pretty cool, but we don't really think about it in the terms of stocks and finances the way that other people do. And I want you guys to change that. I want you guys, when you hear that news, don't hear that news like, hey, it's a brand new product, whoop-de-doo, yeah, that's going to be cool. Hear that news like money. Money, 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 money. That's what that news should say to you. Is this money for me? Is this stock for me? Because if you were sitting at home years ago, before the iPhone came out, before the iPad came out, and you were sitting at home on the sofa and you heard that on the news, you should say, you know what? By the way they explain that iPhone, it's like a computer, but like on the phone, and you can access the internet and all type of crazy stuff. That's amazing. And like they have like a FaceTime, and you can, this sounds absolutely amazing. You might want to check that out. Not because you think it's cool for you to have, or not because you think it's going to be cool to show off to your friends to be the first one to get it, but because you want to say, man, if this thing is really the way it sounds, if this thing is really as good as the way they're making it seem, I need to go buy stock in Apple right now. Because when this comes out, Apple is going to make so much more money that if I can buy stock in Apple for like $1, when this comes out, this stock is going to go up to be like, man, $1,000 per stock. And off of one stock, I'll make $999 within 2 weeks. Off of one stock for $1. So imagine if you spent $1,000 and bought 1,000 of them. And you made $999 off of one, but you bought 1,000 of them. Think about how much money you made right there. You see that? So when you guys hear about these new things coming out and things like that, think about it for, make you happy and it's exciting and things like that. But also, man, if you have like a little bit extra money laying around, things like that, start thinking about things on a financial thing. Start thinking about things on a financial basis, okay? On a financial basis, all right? Think about it like that, okay? Interstellar Traveler. What are the taxes when you own stock? It depends on how much you own. If you can own up to a certain amount, and for different stocks, it's for different things, but if you own to a certain amount, you don't even got to pay taxes on the stock. If you own up to a certain amount, you don't have to pay taxes on the stock, right? This is why a lot of businessmen, if you always hear, those, and I'll get into more of that on another one when I go deeper into stocks. Right now I'm just giving you Interstellar Traveler. That's a good question. Good question. I'm just getting into like the overall, just like to make you guys understand when it's good to buy stock and not buy stock, so that you guys can start to look into that, so that you guys can start to make more money in your life for your family and things like that. But I'll get more deeper into like the nitty gritty of stocks on another occasion, and I'll break down when you have to pay taxes and when you don't have to pay taxes. Okay, when you have to pay taxes and when you don't have to pay taxes. Because the thing about it is with that is that if you ever hear, there's two things, right? And it's stock and it's giving your money away to charity. And with stock and charity, a lot of times with those two things, you can bypass taxes if you have, like I said, up to a certain amount of stock. Okay, up to a certain amount of stock. And it's different depending on what type of stock that you own. All right, what type of stock that you own. All right, but we'll have to get into that another time. But that's a great question. Great question. Okay, but and to give you a quick answer, the lower stock that you have, usually the lower amount of stock that you have to pay taxes. When you get to buy in massive bulk, you don't have to pay the taxes, and that's why the richer the people are, they have more and more and more stock, and they can give more and more money away, just like to charity. They pay less and less in taxes. That's why you always hear the richer you are, the less taxes you pay, right? Or the more money you make, even the less taxes you pay when you get to past a certain point, right? So if you see, and we'll get off of this in 1 second, but if you see, like for example, rich people who are like rich up to like maybe, $500,000 a year or things like that, $300,000 a year or things like that, they still have to pay taxes. But when you get into like the multi-millionaires and multi-billionaires, they don't have to pay taxes. You're like, well, how come the less you pay, you got to pay taxes? Once you get past a certain threshold, you don't have to pay taxes. You see how that works? You're like, dang, that's crazy, man. That's not fair. So you mean these multi-millionaires, these multi-billionaires don't have to pay taxes, but when you like start to pay like less, when you start to make less and less and less and less money in life, you got to pay taxes? How the hell does that work out? That's how it works out. Because the more money you have, the more stocks you buy, the more money you have, the more money you can give away to charity and stuff like that, you pay less and less taxes. And let me tell you, so you guys started making me talk about other stuff I don't supposed to be talking about. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about that Interstellar Traveler. You got me on a tangent right now. I love education and stuff like that, man. You get me talking about other stuff, man. I go on a tangent, but I appreciate it. It was a great question, right? But the reason why, you guys, and the mind frame behind that, the more money you make, the less stocks you have to pay, it's a mind frame that comes from conservative. It's a conservative mind frame from, centuries going back. Centuries, even more than, centuries going back. It's going back centuries, not thousands of years, but it's going back centuries. But the mind frame behind that conservatives came up with is the conservative mind frame, and their mind frame says this: the reason why the richer you are, the less taxes that you have to pay is because you have shown, this is what they say, you have shown that you are intelligent enough that you were able to make so much money in society that you're more intelligent and you're smarter than everybody else, therefore you should be rewarded for your intelligence. You are making so much money, and because you are making so much money, that there shows us that you are so intelligent and smart that you are smarter than everybody else who was not able to make as much money as you were in your lifetime or last year or whatever it is. Therefore, you should not be penalized for being as intelligent as you are. Therefore, we will hold your taxes away from you, and we'll allow you to keep your money because you were so intelligent to make it anyway. And that's the rationale behind that. And that goes deeper also. That's a whole other story, but that goes deeper also, and that is the conservative mind frame. That is the conservative mind frame. I have a whole lecture that I do called The Conservative Mind, and that will be another episode, okay? That will be another episode, The Conservative Mind, all right? And that's why rich people you always hear, they never pay taxes. Donald Trump and them, they never have to pay taxes because their idea from the conservative mind frame is, I'm rich because I'm smarter than the rest of y'all, and because I was smarter than the rest of y'all and made better decisions in life than the rest of y'all, which is why I'm richer than the rest of y'all. I shouldn't be penalized. I should not be penalized for being smarter than the rest of you all. So my money should not be taken away in taxes because I'm smarter than the rest of you all. And that is the conservative mind frame. All right, that's conservative mind state. Okay, which is why in the United States over there, where you guys are in the United States, you guys see the Republican Party is called the Conservative Party because the Republican Party believes in that, right? Like Donald Trump and them like that, right? So that's where that comes from. Okay. Before we get out of here, man, I'm gonna close this up. But the last thing I'm gonna say about stocks, you guys, is think about, like I said, just like the example I gave at first for you guys who were here in the very beginning with Starbucks. If you got in on Starbucks in the very beginning, if you got in on McDonald's in the very beginning, if you got in on Apple before the iPhone, the iPad, I just gave that example a couple minutes ago. If you got in on, Samsung in the very beginning before the Galaxy came out and stuff like that, you now have stock that's worth a lot of money, you guys. The next thing that I want you guys to look out for, I should really charge for this. This is free knowledge for you guys, right? The next thing that you guys want to look out for, remember I gave the example about Uber and they have to wait for government clearance for the flying cars, and to get that government clearance, the stock was going to go up. Keep a lookout for that. Keep a lookout for the Uber stock. Also, cannabis. Cannabis. Right now, medical marijuana, cannabis, and things like that is legal medically in some states, a lot of states in the United States, right over there where you guys are. It's legal also recreationally and medically in a fewer states, fewer number of states. I think like California, Colorado, and things like that. It's just legal. Period. Cannabis and recreational marijuana. It's legal, just period, in some states. Okay. The way you see, good question, Athena Caribbean Curls. The way you see if it got government approved or not is just paying attention to the news. You want to also, you can holler at me. I'm always paying attention because I own a lot of stock in a lot of different things. You know what I mean? You can always holler at me. You guys can always DM me to ask me questions. You guys, if you want more detailed questions, kind of. Okay. But that medical marijuana, you guys, keep an eye on that. Because you can't buy the stock yet, because it's not. And the reason why, listen to this, the reason why I am American. How you doing, interstellar traveler? I was born in the United States, but I live over in the Middle East now. All right, like you came on a little bit later, I think, but I'm a musician. I have a 12-year musical career over here in the Middle East, all right, in the Middle East and Asia. So the Middle East and Asia is kind of like where I've been for a long period of time. I am, though, working on my first English album, and that's why I'm doing a lot of this stuff with Instagram and things like that, with things that are connected to the United States, right? But that's what that is. But I speak all type of different languages, so in any language that I speak, I'll be able to sound like what that language is. It's all good. I don't speak too many, but I speak a few different languages. But cannabis, you guys, and marijuana, you can't buy the stock right now. And the reason why you cannot buy the stock right now is because it has not. I appreciate that, Athena. I love you, sister. Always in the day. That's my dog. You can't buy the stock right now because it has not been nationally approved by the United States government yet. And that's the reason why it is not nationally available everywhere in the U.S. yet. That's why it is not nationally accepted everywhere in the U.S. Even though it may be accepted in like Colorado. Even though it may be accepted in California. Recreational or marijuana is not legal yet in places like Iowa or Nebraska or, Arkansas or New Mexico or Idaho. But check it out. The day that you're sitting at home, all of you, the day that you're sitting at home, the day you're sitting at home and you hear on the news that marijuana has become legal. Marijuana has become legal in every state in the U.S. When you hear that news, marijuana is legal everywhere in the United States, run out and buy that stock. Run out and buy stock in cannabis. Run out and buy stock in marijuana. Find your favorite company. There are many different companies now in medical marijuana. I know like Mike Tyson has his own cannabis company. There's all type of companies now in California, because in California it's legal. But you can't buy stock in it because it's only in a few states, you guys. For stock to be traded, it has to be traded publicly, like worldwide or at least nationwide. So it has to at least be legal in the whole nation, if not the entire world. You see what I'm saying? For it to be legal. Okay? So the day you're sitting at home on the news and you hear, I see you spam that kid too, I see you True 5078, what's going on? But the day you hear that news, marijuana has been voted legal in the United States, run out and get that stock, because you're getting it at a low price. And when it kicks in, that legality kicks in nationwide, it's going to go sky high. So you're getting in on the front end, the way if you would have got in on Starbucks at the very beginning, or McDonald's at the very beginning, or Apple at the very beginning. See that? Or Samsung at the very beginning. Check it out. Keep an eye on that. Cannabis, marijuana legality. When the U.S. government makes it completely 100% legal everywhere in the nation, run out and buy that stock. Okay? Run out and buy that stock. I'm almost finished. Last two things I'm going to talk about real quick. Just go over them really quickly. It's going to be like for 1 minute. Another thing to buy stock in that's good. And this stock is hard to find sometimes. Some stock houses are like the companies that trade stock, you guys. Like, for example, TD Ameritrade or Wells Fargo, I think, trades stocks. There's just like different banks and companies that trade stocks. You know what I mean? Like you basically go to it's like they're like the stock stores. You go to those companies and they that's where you buy the stock. You know, if you Google just like stock houses or stock companies, you'll see them all start to pop up. And you just pick one and you go into there, and then they'll have a list of all the stocks they offer. You know what I'm saying? It'll be Apple and Amazon and Google and things like that or whatever. So the stock houses. But these stocks right here, this next one I'm going to give you is really good also. But you can't find it everywhere. These next two, actually. The first one is healthcare. Healthcare is always a good stock. Health insurance companies are always good stocks because people will always get sick. Everybody dies. And since everybody dies, people will always get sick, people. Nobody escapes it. I'm going to die. Unfortunately, you're going to die. That's so unfortunate to me because I love you guys, right? We're all going to die. Nobody's escaped it. No matter how rich you are, no matter how poor you are, nobody's escaped it. Okay? We're all going to die. Therefore, people will always get sick before they die. And let me tell you, in the United States, people will definitely get more sick because the United States, remember, is huge with diabetes. It's huge with, in the United States, it's one of the most obese nations, right? In the United States, they have they're one of the places with the most fast food places, okay? So people get sick at younger ages, all right? So in the United States, healthcare stock and health insurance stock, rich guys always buy into this stock. Healthcare stock and health insurance stock is always good stock because people are going to always get sick. People will always get sick. So their stock may not go up too much, but it's never going to drop too far. Okay, and that's how that goes. Now, if there's a healthcare company that comes out with a new medicine or something like that, then that particular company, you want to buy stock in that company because their stock will go up. So, for example, back in the days when AIDS was killing a lot of people, HIV and AIDS was killing a lot of people. Then you see today that people that have HIV or AIDS, they live on, much healthier lives. You can live with HIV and AIDS today like you couldn't do back in like the 1980s and stuff like that. Because you have healthcare companies that came out with new medicines. Now, if you see a healthcare company that comes out with a new medicine, you want to buy stock in that particular healthcare company. Because if they come out with a new medicine that's going to help out and people are going to buy, right, then that stock in that healthcare company is going to go way up because they came out with the new technology of a new medicine, okay? And they're just like like when I said when Uber goes to the government and the Uber wants the government to pass their like flying car thing, so they give the senators money under the table. The healthcare companies do the same thing with the doctors. You know how when you go to a doctor and a doctor says, hey, I'm going to prescribe this medicine for you. You're sick, you do this, and they take down your stuff and they prescribe medicine to you. Guess what? They're prescribing certain medicines based on the companies that back them. So the medicines that you go to CVS or Walmart or Walgreens, when you go to the pharmacy to get your medicine that the doctor prescribed for you, the doctor's prescribing certain medicine that certain companies make. Because those companies, they back like that hospital where that doctor works or something like that, right? Like that hospital where that doctor works, those companies, they gave money to help build that hospital. So in return, the hospital makes all the doctors that work in the hospital prescribe to you the medicine from those companies that gave that money to the hospital. So it all comes back around in a circle. And that's how government and politics works, right? So healthcare companies are always good because people are going to die. Health insurance companies are always good because people are going to get sick and die. So they'll always be around. That's always a good investment. And the last one I'm going to talk about today before we get off is prisons. Prisons is also a good investment. And if you can find anyone, I see you, Samuel. I see you, 33. If you can, Samuel 62 and number 33. If you can find this is always good. Not every stock house holds this, but the last one I want to say to you guys are prisons. And that is unfortunate. Prisons, okay? Prisons is also a good stock to buy in if you can find that stock available, all right? And that's unfortunate, but people from the beginning of time will always commit crimes, and no matter what in any society, people will always continue to commit crimes. Therefore, you always hear it, how prisons are privatized, and that is messed up because they need to have a certain number of people in prison to have the prison make a profit or have the prison make money and stuff like that, right? So, that's a deeper thing that I'll get into. That's a whole other topic for a whole other show of Diversity Outspoken. But prisons are for profit, and therefore they need to have the prisons filled up so that the prison makes money, okay? Because the government gives the prisons money for every person they have inside the prison. I see you, Dougie Fresh. And so prisons are always a good investment because people will always commit crimes. People will always go to prisons. So prisons are always a great investment for stock. So if you can find stock houses that are selling stock in prisons, that's always a good investment. Prisons, unfortunately, it's a sad thing to say, but prisons are always a good investment for that reason because people will always be going to prisons, okay? And that's why they like to push more people into prisons because prisons make money like that, you guys, okay? Prisons make a lot of money like that. Just think when you're in prison, the prison makes money. The government gives the prison money for every head of prisoner, every prison they have in the prison. The government gives the prison money for that. Also, when you're in prison, you get the food, the meals. They roll those meals up. They give you those meals, the food that you eat. Think about the food that you eat. That is all money. That is all money the prison makes. The prison tells the government, we have to feed your prisoners. The government gives the prison money for every meal. And all those meals are overpriced for every prisoner that eats at every meal. All those things the government gives the prison money for, because the argument that the prison makes is, look, I'm keeping these bad people off the street for you, government. You got to pay me for that. You see how that works? So even the electricity in the prison is like, government, you have to pay me for that electricity because I need this electricity to keep your prisoners in my prison. Do you want me to let all these prisoners out? No, I'm doing you a favor, government, by keeping the bad guys off the street. So you have to pay me for that, government. And the government pays the prisons. See what I'm saying? So the more people that are in prison, the more money the prison makes. So prisons and stuff like that, guess what? They give money to judges and things like that, so that the judges put more people in prison, because the more people that go to prison, the more money the prison makes. See how that works? It's a circle, all right? The prison gives money to the judges. the judges put more people in prison, and then the more money the prison makes by the people that come in, and they take that money and they give some of it back to the judge when the judge is going for election and stuff like that, when the judge is doing their thing. And that's how it works. That's how politics works, and that is stocks, you people. So this is the second day of economics, stocks, and business, you guys. We'll have, I think, one or two more days of this. Next time we're focusing on business. So everybody who ever wanted to own their own business, everybody who ever wanted to start their own business, the next show, which will be Sunday. Sunday is the next show. What is that? August 4th, I believe. But anyway, Sunday is the next show. Okay, Sunday is the next show, and that will be going over businesses. Everything you need to know about starting a business, everything you need to know about how to conduct a business the right way so that you're successful. That will be on Sunday. Okay, business. My artist name is ODogg, Anti-Imperial, ThaChill. That is 3 names, you guys. ODogg, Anti-Imperial, ThaChill. ODogg is the crazy, sexually explicit guy when I do music. Anti-Imperial, he's the guy that's all about righteousness, history, politics, education, sociology, psychology. That is Anti-Imperial. You see this shirt I'm wearing, Let There Be Light. That is a song. That was my first English release in the United States, and that is definitely an Anti-Imperial song, Let There Be Light, right? If you go to YouTube, you can see that song, Let There Be Light. I have like 3 videos for that song. That is Anti-Imperial. He's a historical guy, political guy, religious guy, all about politics, education, sociology, psychology, physiology. That is Anti-Imperial. And the last name I have is ThaChill. And ThaChill is the hopeless romantic, walking on the beach with the ones that he loves, wants to start a family, fall in love, and things like that. ODogg, Anti-Imperial, ThaChill. We do this every Wednesday and Sunday evening. United States time, 9 o'clock Eastern time zone. Wednesday and Sunday evening. Eastern time zone, United States Eastern time zone, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time zone, 9 o'clock p.m. United States Eastern time zone. Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern time zone, United States. Sunday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern time zone, United States Eastern time zone. Okay, Wednesdays and Sunday nights, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time zone, United States time zone. Okay, that's when we do this. Make sure you guys go to that Instagram. Everybody here is on IG Live right now. I appreciate you guys staying with me. Hope you guys learned something today. Okay, I see you, Marcus. We're almost done. We're ending, but we're glad. We see you, Danny G. We're ending, but we're almost done. But we're glad you were able to join us right before we ended. Everybody who's watching us on IG, my YouTube is Anti-Imperial. Anti-Space Imperial is just Anti-Space Imperial. Okay. That's all it is, Anti-Imperial with a space in between on YouTube. You can subscribe. I put everything on YouTube usually first before it goes on Instagram. So if you want to see things first, videos and stuff like that, make sure you watch the YouTube first. Okay, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. The easiest way, you guys, on Instagram to subscribe to my YouTube is go to my IG bio page, go to my Instagram bio page, and when you go to the Instagram bio page, my IG bio page, you'll see that link. There, there's always a link you can get onto, right? What's up, Timmy? We're almost done, Timmy, but it was good to see you. What's up, Stephanie? What's up, Stephen Dink? We're almost done, but good to see you. But there's a link on my IG bio page, you guys, and you guys know that you always put one link, and the link is always my latest video, my most recent video is that link. But if you click the link on my IG bio page, the video will pop up, and when the video starts to play, you can just hit the subscribe button. That's right there. You see what I mean? So that way you don't have to go to YouTube and look and type in Anti-Space Imperial and then look for me. You know what I mean? You can just go to the IG bio page, click the link on my IG bio page, and when my latest video starts to play, you can just hit the subscribe button right there because it's a YouTube link, right? So when the video starts to play, the subscribe button will be right there, and you can just hit the subscribe button, and it'll pop right up. Okay? But again, man, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys to death, man. This is called Diversity Outspoken. We do this every Wednesday and Sunday, right? Eastern Standard Time, United States, 9 o'clock p.m., Wednesday and Sunday. We call it Diversity Outspoken because I speak about a diverse range of topics speak about anything and everything, and I am outspoken or straightforward about those topics. And that's why it's called Diversity Outspoken. I want to give a shout out to MLI, Musical Lineage International. We have 30 seconds left. It just popped up. Want to give a shout out to Instagram is cutting me off in 20 seconds. Want to give a shout out to MLI. I want to give a shout out to Maka. So you guys, I appreciate it. We have 15 seconds left. This is 13 seconds remaining, 10 seconds. I appreciate it. ODogg, Anti-Imperial, ThaChill. I love you guys. Take care. Peace. Bye-bye. See you next time. Bye.